It's been a couple of days, and I have missed you guys. I've missed you guys because, for one, I love being live. It doesn't feel right if it's not live, right? And I had to get on live now because now I'm on YouTube live. So I have you guys on Twitter, and then YouTube guys on live too. So how exciting is this? Oh my goodness. So today I want to talk about, I have it right behind me, the law of sacrifice, the law of obedience, and the law of success. Okay, so I want to talk about these things because we have to incorporate these things. And I hope you guys have been watching my YouTube videos. You have to incorporate these things in your life, these laws, these principles. You know, everything is made by law. We need to understand this. We need to start comprehending what knowledge is. Knowledge is not just book smart, guys. It's about being unique and artistic within inside of yourself. It's about using your 6 higher faculties that you were born with. It's about applying the fruit of the Spirit that you have within inside of you and rising above all of it. Like, this is what it's all about. You guys, I adore you. I really have missed you. I'm serious. Like, I've been really super doing other things, but that I need to do, that I'm aligning up because things are turning out to be so much better. Thank you for joining me here on YouTube live and on Twitter live. I missed you guys. So I want to talk about, first and foremost, let's start this day by saying I am so happy and so grateful now that I am live in front of you guys because I've missed you guys and I am full of energy right now. And when I mean energy, I'm talking about all these past days. I've just been doing things and trying to reschedule my routine and, you know, changing things. It's not easy change. I'm going to let you guys know that. But sometimes you just got to dive in and just swim, you know. So I am so grateful and so thankful for you guys. I want you guys to know that I'm trying new things in my life. And just like anybody out there, you guys know what a paradigm is. You're going to run right into it. And I'm telling you guys right now, when you run into your paradigm, when it's telling you that you're not enough, or you're what are you doing, or you can't do that, or you know that you're not allowed, you know, I want you guys to understand, when you come about to these problems that stop you, run right into it. Like Bob says, lean into it, break it down. That's what this is all about. Life is about breaking. Listen, let me just tell you, life is about losing your mind in order to gain it right back, and not gain it back in the sense of the same old thinking. No, it's about gaining it back with incredible strength that no one is going to hold you down. So I want to start by the law of sacrifice. You may say, wow, sacrifice sounds really crucial. It sounds really scary, right? Well, the law of sacrifice is not that scary, guys. It's not that scary. I want you guys to understand that we were made for the law of sacrifice, because if you really think about it, it's a natural flow that you give away. You take away what you don't need. It's like the seasons. You know, the seasons come and go. They're in order. They come and they're in order, and they know what's coming after another. You know what I mean? So it's not like the law of sacrifice is just letting go something of a lower nature to reach for the higher things of a higher nature. And this is what the law of sacrifice is. I want you guys to understand that, you know, you have to have faith, and you have to really, really, really have understanding and a foundation to stand on, because the law of sacrifice is just letting go what you don't need, letting that go. You know, like our past, our bad memories, let them go. Let it go, and do not pick them up again. Let it out of here. Do not use it again. Allow yourself to know that this is what it's all about. It's about letting go and letting God, and allowing yourself to go forward. And I want you guys to understand this, because the law of sacrifice is applied in our life every single day. We're just not aware of it. We're not saying, oh, well, I'm going to practice the law of sacrifice today. But now you can, now that you're being attentive to what you're doing on a constant flow. Because if you're not really focused and you don't write your goals down, you're not writing and you're not telling yourself what are you going to do the next day or how you're going to do it the next day, I guarantee you're going to fall right back into the same old you. And when I say the same old you is the one that doesn't try to improve, the one that doesn't want to let the old go by. This is why the law of sacrifice is important for us to understand it, because it's a law that allows us on a constant, like it's persistence. You know, it's about moving forward. It's about propelling forward and allowing the old to go by. It's that process of giving up that does not serve you anymore. It doesn't, you know, it's not for you anymore. And you got to move forward. You have to discipline yourself. You have to discipline yourself in a way of just, you know what really, really, really gets to me on the law of sacrifice is that we can teach our own animals commands, right? I know I have 3 dogs, not, you know, I have 1, but I take care of 2 more. And they listen to me. You know, they listen to me and they're on a schedule. They know when they're going to eat. They know when they're going to walk. They know this. And when I'm not on schedule, they come and they don't talk to me, but they come to me and let me know, hey, it's time to eat. It's time to go outside. It's time, you know, you have to understand that if we could teach an animal commands, why can't we teach ourselves? Why can't we reteach ourselves to take and pick up another worthy habit and let go of the bad habits that are not serving you? Because I'm going to tell you something. Joy is not to be searched. Joy is within you. Joy is a piece of you. Joy is not for you to go looking outside for joy. I know a lot of people that they're not, you know, drinking, smoking, or doing some type of drug or sometimes, you know, to stimulate themselves, they cannot find joy. No, that's not the natural flow of things. Our natural flow of things are to be naturally. They come naturally to us. And letting go of those things and reaching for the joy that first of all, the joy is inside of you, but you're reaching up for the good, better things. And these are habits that are going to benefit your goal, your process, you know, because everybody thinks that everything is like snappy. We're not microwaves. We're not microwaves. It's a process. It's a process. And if you stick to your process and if you stick and you're committed and you know what the law of sacrifice is, because that's what you're doing. It's the law of sacrifice. And you're sacrificing so many things that do not serve you because, see, we are from this world, but we can't be conformed of this world. This is why today the things are happening today because, you know, we've forgotten what the law of sacrifice is. The law of sacrifice is giving up things that do not serve you and allowing them to go. The bad memories, let them go. They're not serving you. Move forward. Keep doing what you got to do. Be persistent on what you want. Master the thing that you need to master. And mastering it only comes from above. Mastering only comes from your mind. Mastering only comes from this point of life. Once you've mastered, it sinks in. And it makes you walk with the flow of the universe. This is what we need to understand, guys. We need to understand that everything is made by law. Everything has a purpose. Everything is made for a purpose. Everything in life, we do live in an ocean of motion. Remember we were talking about the law of vibration? This is all these laws incorporate with each other. They're in a flow. This is why we have the seasons. This is why, you know, we know what comes after what, because it's in order. It's an order. And this is what you need to understand. If you're not thinking in order, you're disordered. You're dysfunctioned. And this is why some of the stuff that, you're trying to manifest is not manifesting, because you're not thinking appropriately. You're not mastering that one idea, and you're focused on that one idea. This is why I talk to you guys. This is why I come out here, because listen, I can have notes in front of me, but all this is inside of me. I can come out and bring it out any which way, because see, I know now, not all of them, and not everything, but I know enough that I can move with the flow of the universe. And this is what you need to understand. You want to go with the universe. If you are an artist, if you are any type of writer, if you are any type of in the industry of entertainment, period, you want to focus your thoughts on becoming focused with the universe. Because see, if you become focused with the universe, you're going to incorporate that idea that the universe is giving you to send out. Because see, the universe talks to us. The universe is allowing us to receive these thoughts and make these thoughts become. Why? Because every law that I have shared with you for this past, 2 weeks or weeks, I don't remember. But I want you guys to understand, if you apply these laws in your life, and I try to make them as simple as possible. Someone came up to me and they told me, that I'm speaking stupid to smart people. No, he's got that backwards. I'm speaking smart. Just the dumb people don't understand it, because it's so simple. And this is not rocket science. Life is not meant for you to have a book of instructions and going at it and doing everything by the books. This is why it's called, and we're going to talk about the law of success. The law of success is in here too, because I think these three, they're the last. It's 10, 11, 9, 10, 11. And I want you guys to understand these three kind of like flowing together. All the laws of the universe flow together anyway. They're just like they're entangled together. They're just flowing like this naturally. And if you're focused on becoming better at what you do, focus right now on what I'm telling you. Life is not rocket science. It's energy. Energy just is. God is just. He gives us energy. It flows through us. It gives us ideas. And I want you guys to understand that everything you do in life, it causes you to it's a transmutation of energy. I want you guys to understand that energy is the new currency, and it's been the currency, but it's the new currency as we speak today. This is why you can't go by what the TV and news anchors are telling us, that, there's not enough money, there's lack. There is no lack. There's no lack. And I want you guys to focus on the laws that I'm sharing with you today. And that is the law of sacrifice. And it's simple. It's just what I told you. It's about disciplining yourself. It's about letting go of the less and going for the greater. It's about teaching yourself to do something different to become greater, because we're meant for greatness. But if we're not seeking it and we're not intentionally looking for it, you're just going to walk like aimlessly on this ground, not knowing this earth, not knowing that it is heaven on earth. We create heaven on earth. Just imagine this, and then we're going to go back. I'm going to go into the law of obedience. Just imagine this. Everything you're seeing right now with your two eyes, wherever you're at, just imagine this. It was someone else's thoughts. We're living someone else's thoughts right now. So it's time that we create our thoughts. Do you see what I'm saying? This is why it's important, it's crucial, and in its urgency that you learn the laws. And this is why I explain them as simple as I can, because I can see. Let's talk about Bob Proctor right now. Hello, Bob Proctor. If you're watching, I adore you. Thank you for your service. Thank you for all that you do, because you have taught me to be a greater person. You've taught me to allow myself to move forward. You've allowed me. And I say you allowed me because I'm going to tell you something. In this world, there's not great leaders. In this world, there's not great people to tell you that you must do what you need to do to move forward. And you are one of those guys. You are one of those guys that are a superhero to me. And I appreciate you. Thank you, Sandy Gallagher, as well. I appreciate you. You're someone that I look up to, and I know that, everything I do is because of you guys. I do it because of you guys. And I enjoy doing this because I love to. I love giving information to people that need it. And let me get personal with you, because it's not about just people. It's about family. It's about, you are my family out there. And I want you to understand that the better that you start understanding this up here, the gift that God gave you, that I with inside of you, until you realize that I inside of you is alert and up, you are not going to be able. See, when you don't know something, what happens? You're in the darkness. You're not able to see. But when you become up in the light, you see everything. You don't have to trip over stuff. You're seeing everything in front of you. But in the darkness, you can't see nothing. And this is why it's important. This is why it's important for you to understand how I'm transmitting it to you. Because let me tell you something. I can flip-flop. I can change my tone. I can change my attitude. I can change everything about me. And I can still deliver the message. Why? Because I'm focused, my eyes wide open. It's ready to give, to receive the energy, and ready to give the energy. And this is the way that I work. This is the way that I choose to work. This is the way that I love to work, because this stuff it's incredible stuff. How do you believe more even when it seems like everything is the same? This is why we have our higher 6 faculties. And one of them that we purposely need to use on a, not even daily, it has to be the moment you wake up to the moment you sleep, is our imagination. Our imagination is what gives us the picture that we want to see. And it also creates the picture that we're trying to create to manifest. You have to stay focused on that. Look, let me tell you guys something. I'm going to talk to you about something, because I know that you guys are seeing with these eyes. This is what this world around us is producing us. It's conditioned us to use our outside sensors, which is the 5 sensors that is our sight, smell, taste, touch, and hear. Guys, slow it down. There's a 6th sense inside of you. There's a 6th, it wants to come out. And that is the eye of God. That is the eye within you that sees so much. You can close these eyes and you can see whatever you want. You can create whatever you want. You hear kids saying it all the time. I love my imagination, because guess what? That's where I play and that's where I build. And right now, I'm glad I'm talking about building, because now I want to get into the law of obedience. I want you to know that the law of obedience is what God intended us to be. In chapter 1 of Genesis, and I have to go back on the word, guys, because you have to understand that the universal laws, right? And the word of God, it lets you stand on a solid foundation, and it will not let you crumble. I guarantee you, because see, it's a solid foundation because that's what the world was meant to be. It was made in order. And I say we because I want the man that we are here on earth. We have corrupted it. We, with our own thinking that we thought that we knew, and we thought we knew, I want you guys to understand that, this is not about, oh, it's so spooky, or, oh, everything that it is unknown is spooky. It is. It's a mystery. But nothing's a mystery once you know that life wasn't meant to be a mystery. It's meant to be lived. It's meant to be fulfilled. It's meant to allow yourself to do the things that you were meant on purpose for. And this is why you need to understand. See, I know I was made to be in front of you guys. I know that I was made to elaborate on these these titles that I bring out, because everything inside of me is law. It's built on laws. See, and this is why it's important for you to stay focused on your goals, on your aspirations. See, you can't allow someone else told me that, that I don't have any friends. I do. I have you guys. I love you guys and I adore you guys. You know why? Because I don't need personal friends around me. I need to be focused on what I want to do and how I want to do it. And sometimes having friends around you, they knock you off your rug, they knock you on your feet, and they don't allow you to chase your dreams. This is why it's important for you. If you want something great in life, you got to focus on greatness. Greatness is putting something on top of your eyes like this, a guard, and just walk towards your goal, walk towards your destiny, walk towards the higher things that you're reaching out for. And this is about the law of obedience that I'm talking about. But we're made to build. We're made to construct. Why? How? It's not with these hands. Yeah, you could use these hands too, but it's about using your imagination. It's about exploring what the unknown and creating, because the law of obedience is the master. We're master builders. We're master builders. I want to share this. I think I've said it before, but it's an Acts 4:11. This is the stone which was set at. I said this the other day too to somebody. This is the stone which was set at not on the builders, which is become the head of the corner. So every corner, if you look at a building, every corner has a corner. Like if I was to look at this corner right here, this edge, every corner, right? It stops. It's right there. It's an angle. It's an angle, right? That's how you should be. You should be looking at an angle. At an angle, your goal should be like that. You should be looking into that, into only that little triangle space that you have in your mind to really, really look and explore. Because remember, we're using our higher faculties. This is called our imagination. Our imagination is beyond the square. It's everywhere. It doesn't matter. You've heard a lot of singers say, well, if you grew up the way that you did, or you've been through chaos, you've been through hell, you've been through this, but how did you make it through? How did you allow yourself to stay focused on what you stayed focused? What do they say? What is it that they always say? Well, I created a place where I can go. This is why you need to understand your imagination is where you create. We were made to build. We are personally Bob the Builders, okay? We are meant to build. We are meant to name things, create things. We were meant for these things. And yes, I love this. I love this so much. You need to understand this. You need to understand that obedience is compliance with an order, request, or the law, submission, of others' authorities. Because guys, we tend to forget. And I want to share this with you because, with the current events that we're having now, and yes, I'm going to talk about current events in my speeches because I want you guys to understand the current events, the stuff that is happening with the police officers right now, with law enforcement. I do believe that we need to have respect. I do believe, you guys, and I'm not putting anybody down, but I've taught this to my children too, respect. Everybody deserves it. But if you come out of your mouth sideways, talking to authority, there's going to be a problem. Like in classes, the teacher's talking up front, and if you're throwing an airplane or you're doing something that you're not supposed to do, and that room is the teacher's room, but you're disrupted with doing things that you're not supposed to do in the class. That's disrespectful. Learn how to just, if you may say, well, some cops are just mean. Yeah, there's different types of mean people out there. I'm not saying there isn't, but we have to learn to just do what they ask. That's it. Give them what they want without getting smart. You can record if you like. But if you're looking for evil and negative, it's going to come to you. This is why I'm trying to address these things, because see, and I'm going to share this with you guys, because I also, within my eye, within me, I am gifted. And what I was told is the law enforcement, the gun control, it's going to occur because it's easier for them to dismay some people, if that makes sense to you. I know that sounds disturbing, but it's true. You know, you guys have to understand that if you're pointing a gun, that gun is going to point at you back. Whatever you put out, it's a boomerang effect. Life is a boomerang effect. Whatever you put out, you're going to receive it. Okay? And I've talked about these laws, and this is why I will continue to talk about these laws, because I need to enforce them on you. And yes, I said enforce them because you need to know that you need to line yourself up. You need to focus on the good that God gave us. We're builders by nature. We are builders. We are meant to build, not destroy. We were meant to create, not disintegrate. We are meant to grow taller and stronger, not short and fatter, you know? And I say this because seriously, guys, life, you gotta look at your life, and you gotta change things in your life. You gotta tell yourself, I want better. And see, I had said this a long time ago. I always knew there was better. I always absolutely knew there was better. And I've always been in search for it. And I found it. And better is better. You keep reaching for better. You know, it keeps on improving. And better is not something you become. It's something you wear. Because see, when you're wearing it, you could take it off. When you're ready, you take it off and you put another coat on you. The better keeps growing. And that's what you do. You keep putting a better jacket on. You keep putting a better jacket on. You keep taking off the old and putting the new. This is better. Better is not about, oh, I'm better than you. Ha, 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 ha. No. There's no one greater. No one. We're all equal. Everybody's like this. Okay? Now, our minds, that's what separates us. Our minds. Yeah, I said it. Our minds separate us. Our thinking process separates us. Yes, I said it. And if you get on my YouTube channel, wherever you're at, I'm going to give you guys information. I'm going to give you the truth because I want you to understand you. If you start understanding you better, you'll do things better. No one is able to tell you what you need to do or how to do it. Like I say sometimes, I'm like doing something and I'll tell my son or daughter, for instance, washing dishes. I love washing dishes. I tell my kids to do it, and sometimes they don't do it the way that I choose to do it and leave the dishes dirty, right? So what happens next time? I do it because I want things done the right way, the proper way. So I'll do it myself without asking. I'll do them. But see, this is why you need to understand you, because once you understand you, you're going to be able to bring the better you out. And all that negativity, that is cut off. All the negative in my life is cut off. I've cut off people that I adore and love. They're no longer around. Why? Because I cannot breathe. See, you have to understand that you have to cut. And that's, you know, it's so funny because you see on Periscopes and on this media thing that people are getting tailor suits made and you know, they're getting clothes made and cut specifically for them. I think that has a lot to do with cutting off people. If you have a jacket made perfectly for you, and then you put this big old, you know, leave the arm longer or something, that's not going to look attractive, right? That's not what you paid for, right? You're going to get it cut and fixed to your size. That's how you have to live life. You got to adjust yourself. You got to cut off, just cut off all that negative, cut it off. It doesn't, you don't need, family too, because the families are the ones that believe in you. Families are the ones that are going to give you that upper lift. The families are the ones that are going to, see, what you guys don't know is that when you're born, You're born to the people around you, of course, to your mom and dad and all the people around you, because that is the way that you chose to be born. Because little do you guys know, or if you do know, the life that you're living right now is because you wrote it out and you gave it to God, and you're like, this is the way I want it to be. I choose my mom and dad. You see what I'm saying? And then you come to this earth and you forget. You're covered. You're covered, and the veil is not completely open because you're not allowing your eye to be opened. Your sixth sense is still inside of you, and it sometimes tell you, because you have that intuition within yourself, but you don't pay any attention to it because you were never brought to be thinking on these things like this. And this is why it's important, because see, I'm going to tell you something. All my life, I knew who I was. The world around me and the people around me told me I was woo-woo, but I knew I wasn't. And then for the person that said, I speak dumb to smart people, no, you are in darkness, in ignorance that covers for you to understand what I'm talking about. Because I think even a 3-year-old can understand what these laws, the way that I bring them, and that's the funny thing, because see, life isn't rocket science. I can read some rocket science stuff, some scientific stuff, and I can break it down and deliver it to you so you can understand. And this is what wisdom is about. Wisdom is about doing things better, doing things according to what the need is. Remember, the laws that I spoke about last week, the law of compensation. It's how you bring it, how you do it. I'm aware, guys. I'm aware of what I am doing and creating. Sometimes I might slip into it and fall into it and be like, whoa, this is smooth. But it's because the Spirit of God within me is leading me. And this is what you need to understand. The Spirit of God is in you too. You just have to activate it. And activation is not, going to church and singing the 3 hallelujahs and skipping up and down and no. You simply just talk to God. You simply just talk to God where you're at. No media, no person in the middle, not me saying, hey, what do you need for me to tell God about you? No, this is about you. This is about you leading from a 360 degrees angle, pinpoint where you're at, right where I'm at. From a 360 degrees angle, we are meant to lead. We're meant to think with our eye wide open. We're meant to do things greater than what Jesus Christ did. I want you guys to understand this. I want you guys to understand that this is not a spirit. This is not a religious thing I'm talking about. I do not believe in religion. I do not. So let's say this again. I do not believe in religion. No, this is spiritual. This is spiritual. We're all spirit. All of us have a spirit. And guess what? The Spirit of God, the one when we're born into this world and we take our first breath, because it says it in the Bible, that our first breath is by God. And it says it in chapter 2, when he said, he created man and out of dust off the ground, and he blew into his nostrils and he gave us air. So come on, guys, stop. Throw away the old conditioning ways of what we were taught, because I'm telling you, the church ain't saving you. The church is not going to save you. And if the preachers are not talking about these things, about how they parallel with the law of the universe and how things are supposed to be for real, it's not storytelling on how you think. This is why when it comes to the Bible and when I speak, the Spirit of God said, first of all, the King James Version has, all of them Bibles have been tapped and changed and stuff. All of them have. But the King James Version is more closer to it because it's in English and we don't understand some of those words. But see, that's how God taught me the laws of the universe. As Bob Proctor said, the laws of the universe, the Spirit of God came in and showed me in my head, as the movies played of the story of the Bible. He showed them to me and he said, this is the foundation of God. But see, so many of us are so conditioned to believe that we have to enter a church in our four walls of a church and sit there and let another man tell you that you're going to heaven. There's a problem in that. Why are you believing another man? Why are you seeking his knowledge when a man can only get to a part of a man? The Spirit of God is within us. The eye of God wants to lead us. But we give men and women the authority over oneself. That's a shame. And this is why I'm coming on, because I need to let you guys know you must grow. You must evolve. The world is changing, and it's changing on a fast base. And if you're not ready for these changes, you're going to die. And I'm talking about disintegrate. You're not going to have enough strength to move forward because you're going to get sick. You're going to, and this is not, I'm not trying to throw everybody out there and say, hey, everybody's going to get sick. But no, but if you worry, stress, worry, all that negative, it's going to kill your physical being. And it starts from inside. Isn't that crazy? It starts from inside. But here I am telling you, you can get to your perfect, not even perfect, to the most excellent you through inside, bringing all these good things outside. But that's too much of a discipline for you. This is why I'm talking about the law of obedience. Obedience is making a command and following through with it. It's allowing yourself to know that you're going to submit to some things in life. And submitting to things is not saying that you give up. No, it's so funny, but we pick our own wars within our mind. We pick I know I do anyway. I know I'm alert, and sometimes you might catch me slipping, but it's not I'm most of the time focused on what I need to do. Why? Because I have it in front of me. I'm writing it. I'm consistently talking about it. Everywhere I talk, listen, people on the street, they know me and they're following me on some type of media. Why? Because I speak about this stuff all day, 24 hours a day. People get tired of what I talk. If they don't, I'm serious, because I'm talking about this all the time. This is why the laws are right here, in here, and they're just moving on up and coming out of me because they're a part of me. And I loved it. I love it, love it, love it. So obedience, it's a duty. It's observance of the law, the rules, and submission. You have to submit. You have to some of these rules, because if you're not doing that, you're going to walk as a fool. Bottom line, you're just going to be a fool. Because see, the person that spoke to me and told me those things, I didn't even get mad. I was just like, wow, that's how ignorant. Because I really looked up to that person. I really looked up to that person until they started feeding me that. And I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. This is time to cut that out. Throw it out. Give it away. Do something with it. Love you from afar. And not give it any more mind. Because see, when you tailor and clip something to fit you, it's going to be fit to you. You don't need no one else to tell you. You don't need no one else to pat yourself on the back and say, you got this. You got this by the Spirit of God. The Spirit of God is within all of us. And this is what we need to understand. We need to understand and stop focusing on what we've been conditioned to believe in churches, conditioned to believe at home with our parents. And I'm not saying become destructive and no, because destruction is not of God. God is an orderly God. See, this is why you need to be very careful and cautious on how you speak, because see, you show who you serve the way you talk, the way, I can't be judged because, God says that he will judge me. But you speak your character, and your character I can see. You're not paying attention. Life is so good and so rich. Life is meant to be fulfilling. This is, about submission. It's about obeying. It's about, complying to a command, a direction, request. to a person or law, but we're not paying attention. We're letting life go by looking on the channel, the news, and saying, oh, there's all these killings, there's all this. Everything you put out, whether it's the killer himself, boom, 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 it's coming back. Every law works perfectly. You have to be focused on all these laws and their natural flow. It's a flow within you. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's a flow within you. It carries out. It's a command. It's an instruction. Do you get what I'm saying? It's about how you are paying attention. It's about responding to life, not reacting to life. You know, it's so funny because, see, if you were in front of me right now, literally in front of me, if I throw a ball at you, that's when you're supposed to react. You grab that ball, react to that ball. But when you're thinking, you're going to respond. You're going to be calm because, see, the Spirit of God lives in you, and the fruit of the Spirit brings patience. It brings knowledge beyond measures, and it makes you have the patience you need at that very moment. This is why it's important for you to know that our 6 higher faculties that we were meant to have, our reason, our will, our perception, our intuition, imagination. You know, I want you guys to understand memory. It's about having these things to enforce, to uplift, to keep going, to not surrender to the, and I'm going to say it, to the bull, not surrender to the caca, not surrender to anyone that is negative. I don't want no negative people around me, and I make sure of that, and I don't come in contact with negative people. It's so hard to do that and not react when it should be calm. You know what? It is, but see, when you start acknowledging yourself and you start knowing that you're not the only one in this body, you're not alone. The Spirit of God is in you, just as is in me. He gives us the strength to focus, adjust. It gives you, listen, I've been in too many things that I can't sit here and say, I know what you're talking about because I've experienced that. But I have to tell you that when you start realizing that the strength comes from above, that it starts clicking and telling you, the Spirit of God will talk to you inside of your mind or in your heart, and it'll tell you, shh, be calm, stand still. But you have to ask for these things. Listen, a closed mouth, just like the singer said, a closed mouth ain't going to be fed. You got to open your mouth. You have to ask. Once you ask, then you receive. You have to ask, then you'll receive. The superpower that we have is the Spirit of God. Do you know that if there's a God, there's an enemy, right? Satan, right? And God has his angels, right? Well, Satan has 1/4 of angels that fell here on earth, that are roaming around, and you cannot see them because these eyes won't let you. But see, I've seen ever since I was little. And this is what we need to understand, that we are not fighting forces that are our relatives. It's the forces of evil. They hate us for having a body. They can never have a body. Do you see what I'm talking about? So if you're being used, it's because you're being used by another source, another force. I have to talk about these things because the whole world needs to understand that everything is one. One. Doesn't matter what color you are. It doesn't matter what flag you rep. It doesn't matter what culture you come from. There's only one. And I want you to understand that the laws that I give, these are, simple laws. And you may say, that is so simple. Why couldn't I think of that? Or why did she say it in that way? This is the way that I'm meant to say it. This is the way that I was meant to say it. And trust me, there's more. You will be so impressed. Because see, I still dig deep, and I'm still digging in my potential. I ain't there where I want to be yet. I'm still doing me inside of me, making things move out of me. creating me better than I was yesterday, or better than I was 5 minutes ago. This is what life's about. It's about being alert. It's about becoming who you were created to be by design. But many of us are fooled by the world's greed and the world's, let me tell you, the world may give you everything, but in exchange, you will be bound. You will be enslaved. And it starts here first. You'll be enslaved by your thoughts here first. And then you will not be able to have the things that you want in life. And especially if you're negative. And if you're a negative person and you think, oh, well, I have everything I want. No, you don't. No, you don't. Negative does not give you everything you want. It takes away from you. I just want you guys to know that. So this is the obedience, the law of obedience is just behave in accordance to what is a general principle, a natural law, something that that is to be true, and you need to just be in line with it. It's reckless when you have all your thoughts scattered and you're so upset and you're so disturbed, but here you are, you're the God's highest form of creation, and you can't get rid of a paradigm. No. Better yet, some of us love to live in that. But then you want God to bless you with everything else. How can you be blessed with everything else if you're not grateful for the things that you have? Because see, if you can't get rid of a paradigm on your own, because it's all mental. I'm sorry, guys. I have to tell you, it's mental. It's mental. It all starts here and it ends here. It's mental. And if you're not capable of being a master in your own mental state, there's a problem. There's a problem of lack that is up there in your mind, because the world will never lack. The world will keep producing after, even when you're gone. It keeps producing. And this is what we need to understand. If we are not obedient, we will lose, period. We will lose the war. We will lose the battle if you're not obedient. If you don't submit to some things in life, you're going to be a loser in life. And I'm saying these things. I love you guys. I truly do love you. Oh my God, do I adore you guys? I do. But I'd rather be on your sore thumb, or push you along or something, or make you learn, because see, the world has conditioned you so tough. Your heart is hardened. And the only way that I can tell you the truth is by telling you the truth. If you don't adjust the way that you're living, you're going to get sick. If you don't adjust the way that you're thinking, you're going to get sick. Why? Because see, if you're not in line with who you are by design, you're not in order. And what you're not in order, everything that is not in order has to be cut off. That's how life is. And the orders aren't even bad. We've made them to believe that they're bad, because the way that our old way of conditioning was, they said that, oh my God, don't do it that way. Don't do it this way. You got to do it your way, the way you feel in your heart, the way that it's holding in there and it's allowing you to move forward, to propel, to grow. Everything that grows is God's. And let me tell you something, everything is God's, whether you're good or bad, whatever that means. Because if you really think about it, my good may not be yours. But I'll tell you one thing, it does mean a lot for God. And He knows the good and bad in each of us. So it's time to get in order. It's in time to get in order, because see, if we don't become in order, we're disordered. And disordered things are cut off from life. Because you're so in the dark with things and you're so disturbed and you're not focusing on what you want. And this is perfect because guess what? You know, the law of obedience is about, let's talk about a farmer right now. Okay? There's a farmer with a farm. And he has a beautiful farm, right? When he plants his harvest, he's plowing and planting and plowing and pounding. And here he is working hard. And he's looking in his mind of imagination. And he's like, yeah, this harvest is going to be plentiful. It's going to be radiance, right? He's expecting it, right? And guess what happens? What he put out into the universe by law comes back to him. And by law, that farm, that harvest becomes his harvest. He transmuted that energy into his farm by and through his imagination, because I bet he's out there and he's just focused how beautiful it's going to be, how gorgeous the corn is going to come out, and how the carrots and tomatoes, all that he's grown, he sees it. And all that just comes back to him because he created it by his energy flow. He's moving along on his journey and he's just pulling what he has, working, and putting out. And then all of a sudden, harvest season comes. And guess what? He receives an abundance because he was focused on his harvest. This is how life is meant for all of us. So stop complaining and stop saying to yourself that there's lack. If you don't adjust this, none of this will become adjusted. Simple to be true. So remember this. I want you to understand that we were all meant to be great. We were. And in Genesis 2:8, it says, the Lord God planted a garden towards the east of Eden, and there he placed the man whom he had formed. Why am I talking about this? Because I want you to know that the Spirit of God was with Adam in that place, in that garden. And also in that garden, Adam lost the Spirit of God. Jesus had to come and make room for the Spirit of God to return. And that's what his message was about. His message was about repent. Your old ways of conditioned. Think new. Be new. And be renewed by the Spirit of God. We need to understand these things because everything is accordance to everything. And now I'm about to get into the law of success, which I want you guys to understand that without any of these other laws, the law of success can't come through. Everything is a stepping stone. And as long as you stay focused and meditate on what I teach or what you in your heart to know it's true, that's how things change. You can't just plant a flower and expect overnight to that flower to grow. No, you got to give it time. That's why it's important. If you right now are listening to me, it's not a coincidence. I attracted you to me because I want you to understand that it's time to grow. It's time to stay focused on each other's growth. And when I say that, it's because you have to have people that think like you. You have to have open-minded community. This is why, listen, my community is in the air. My community is in air. Why? Because that's where I know I grow. This is where I know I'm an astronaut, guys. I'm in the cosmos, period. And this is why it's important for us to be around people that you really feel and really want to be around, and it allow you to grow. We teach each other to move forward, and you have to stay grounded where you feel like you're growing. And this is why it's important to let go of all that negative people. So now we're in the law of success. Okay, it is God's purpose that we become great. That is why he made us. We are Bob the Builders. Like I said, we're meant to be builders. Remember I told you in the law of sacrifice when I was talking to you guys? We were meant to be builders. I want you guys to understand that we were made to do greater things in life. Okay? We were designed to do the greater things in life. See, order is the first law in heaven. It's by order, everything. Everything is in order. You have to know that if you're out of order, listen, I can't have a plastic Tupperware and put it in the oven. That's disordered. It's not metal. It's not steel. It's going to melt. Use your nugget, your noodle. And I always talk about noodle when it comes to success. Why? Because you know how you make spaghetti? And this is, I literally tweeted this one time, and I don't care what you guys think, but it's like cooking spaghetti. You got to hold on to that noodle if you really want that noodle. And you want to finish the whole noodle. Because a noodle, when it's not, it's uncooked, it's raw, it's hard and it sticks up, right? Like a stick. But once that noodle becomes cooked, it becomes real flimsy and goes all kinds of ways, right? Well, your noodle, if you don't understand this noodle up here and you don't hold on to it, you're going to become a softened spaghetti. It's going to get soft and it's all over the place and you're not going to find it, especially when the life dumps on you spaghetti sauce. Yes, I said that. When it dumps spaghetti sauce, then you will be clueless. That's why you got to hold on to your noodle. Let the life, all that dump, because you're going to be held on to your own noodle. You're going to be focused and you're going to be able to look beyond the sauce. And yes, I just said that. I know it's funny. And I like that because it's so true. Because if you don't hold on to the noodle, and the noodle can go any which way, this is why you have to hold on to it. You have to hold on to it. And it's about holding on to your mind. It's about holding on to your mind. Learn to hold on to your noodle when the life comes to dump sauce on you. Learn that. So, okay. He designed us in that order. If we follow his order by applying the law to be successful, enjoy everything in life by order of the law. We all were born to be rich. And this I love because Bob Proctor always says that. He even has a book out that's called You Were Born to Be Rich. And it's so true. We're born to be rich, but the world has conditioned us to believe otherwise. And when I say the world, I'm talking about everything in this world. Especially because, see, the law of success, if you're using your higher faculties, you're going to be able to hold on to your mind and your thoughts, your goals, and your aspirations and make them manifest. But if you're not holding on to it, guess what happens? The world outside of you is going to force you to use your sensors, and you're going to start using the sight, smell, taste, touch, and hear. And you're not going to get nowhere with those because those were meant for just the material life outside of you. You're not supposed to use those things if you're really searching for the design within you to happen. The design within you has to be open through your sixth sense, through the eye that God gave us within us. It brings us alive. Do you see what I'm saying? Are you understanding? Because you need to understand this stuff because you're going to be using it for tomorrow. We're all going to be using it. So get familiar with it. Be prepared. It's better being prepared than not prepared. That I will tell you. And to tell you the honest truth, there's nothing that I can say about being prepared because, see, everything by law gravitates to each other. And that's one of the things God told me. We are like magnets. When you're ready to receive it, you will. And when you're ready for that thing, whatever it is, you're ready. There's no one that can take it away from you. And this is why you need to understand these things. These are principles. This is by law. So just know that. Look around. Is there any lack of anything? You know, for real, like if you go to the wilderness, and is there any lack of trees? No, there's plentiful of trees. And there's still trees all around, only if people don't knock them down and make neighborhoods. But there's trees everywhere, and they'll keep growing. No one has to go out there and plant trees. No, they just keep coming out of the ground. Flowers keep coming out of the ground. Now, if you're a farmer, you know that if you plant an apple tree, that's what you're going to receive because you planted that apple tree. That's the law of success. Whatever you plant must come back. But don't be all crazy and throw out some wildflowers. You don't even know what you're throwing out. Make sure that you're on target of what you want. And you may say, well, it's not working out for me because, no, it's not. Do you want me to tell you why it's not working out for you? It's not working out for you because you're so focused on other things and other people that you're not adjusted to what you really want in life. Because if you're adjusted to what you really want in life, nothing else matters in this world. You knock it off. Nothing else matters. Don't give yourself excuses. Don't sit here and say, oh, well, no. Nothing matters when you have a goal in mind to reach. Nothing matters when you're trying and striving every single day to have what you're looking for because you want that. Because within inside of you, it's just ripping inside of you, telling you, you want that. And if you start reaching for that, whatever that is, that has to manifest by law. It has to manifest by law if you're doing it properly. Not, oh, well, I'm going to think about it today and wait a couple of days, forget about it. No, it has to stay here to manifest. It has to be planted to manifest. You have to water it by using your imagination and picturing it. You have to water it by telling yourself and reading it to yourself every day. You have to manifest it by telling yourself and looking at it every single moment of the day if you really want it. That is what a goal is. A goal is something that you're trying to reach, and you know that you can reach it because, listen, whatever you put out, whatever you expect, because I don't believe that you're going to think that you want something without the expectations of that thing that you want to create. If you cannot create something you're not expecting, you have to expect the thing before you want it. That's why I tell everybody when they say there's a problem, oh, there's a problem. All problems can be fixed. We are the problem solvers of the world. We are the chosen ones that God called to create the solution for that problem. Do not give no more mind to problems because problems do not have nothing on us because we are God's highest form of creation and we must apply the law in our life to bring that solution out of us. This is what life is about. Life is about truth. Truth is if you don't have faith and you believe in everything, you're going to fall for everything. Having faith gives you stability. It gives you a solid foundation to stand on. Because I'm going to tell you something right now. Me, myself, and I will stand on God's word. I will stand on, look, if I have to stand on love by itself, love, just stand on that word and say, no, I'm going to love. I'm not going to be moved. I will not be destroyed. I will not be broken. Why? There's power and knowing there's a higher source giving us the strength to persevere, to move forward, healing ourselves, because this power is beyond measures. No man can give. It is truly him that created us. This is why it's important for you to build a backbone on yourself. No one can be your backbone. It's important for you to understand that success is tough, but if you're not holding on to that noodle and the life, that the sauce of the life comes and it's a messy place. And if you're not holding on to your noodle, your mind, your eye within you, you're going to be dirty. It's like wearing glasses and somebody throws sauce at you and you got to clean your glasses off to see again. You better clean your focus. You better clean that and you better clean it to the perfection you have within inside of you, because we were made with perfection. There's nothing that makes us flawless. And this is why God has to, in these days, right now, as you see these challenged children and people that may not have limbs and may not be able to speak or see or not have fingers, and they're doing greater things that we that have hands and have eyes and that. This is why God called them to rise. This is how God called them to come up. Because see, right now the stones are crying out. Do you understand? A stone is crying out. God is trying to get your attention, to focus your attention on yourself, on the one that he created. Stop looking for the women. Stop looking for the men. Stop looking for family members. Stop. And look within inside of you and reach inside of you and start taking out what doesn't belong by the law of sacrifice, by the law of obedience, by the law of success. If you want anything to happen, you have to apply these laws and these principles to your life. Yes, it's a death or life situation here. Yes, because see, if you're consistently in anxiety, in existent going through trials and tribulations in your mind, and you're a wanderer. You don't even know what's going on because you don't have no goals or aspirations or something to focus your eye on. You're just talking, oh, I want to do this, but you're not putting and applying and making this energy to go through you and flow you. You're not going to be able to do anything you want until you realize that the only source that you're looking and seeking for is already in you. That's the bottom line. It's in me as it is in you. This is why I keep telling you, you are in me and I am in you. You need to focus on you. You need to focus on that one that needs to cut people away, cut what is not working for you, because many of you guys are smoking. It doesn't even, listen, at this point you smoke so much that you don't even know how to use it as being creative. Because see, when you're creative, you don't need anything to give you hallucinations. It's inside of you. The eye is inside of you. The all-seeing eye is inside of you to give you revelation of who and God designed, how you were meant to be, how you're meant to project these things out of you, how you're supposed to be successful and have all the things that you desire within your heart. It's all creeping in you. It's inside of you, and you're saying to yourself, I want these things, but I don't know how. How is by moving. How is by doing. How, listen, do you know how many times I fell? Do you know how many times I listen, Bob Proctor, I laugh because listen, he's so funny. He's hilarious. He says, fail your way to success. It's true. Why are you going to give up because it didn't work out a couple of, do you know, it doesn't matter how many times you fall, as long as you keep getting back up and you keep trying. What is wrong with you people? There is a will inside of us that the Spirit of God has given us the force and the will that creates that forceful thing to come out. And yes, I'm talking this way today because you have to understand, I feel every emotion there is in this world. I feel them completely. I've been in tune with them. I can go to anyone's level of thinking and feel it. This is why I like to be alone. This is why I don't have friends. The person that said I don't have friends, I have friends. But I just don't need to be around them for me to feel secure or confident. I don't need that. I am confident. I'm secure because I know I have him and him is in me. See? That's all I need. This is what you need to tell yourself. This is what you need to understand. Activate the powers within you to create the things you want. This is how we have to understand that we were given mental faculties, maybe tools if you want to call them, and dig in there and start using them and applying them. Reason, will, memory, perception, intuition, imagination, use them. Work on them every day. If you're not used to thinking like this, listen, start thinking like this. It's way better to think like this than any other way. I'm going to tell you that right now. Every other way, and this is another thing I told Bob. Everybody else is taken. I'd rather be me. I'd rather be me. Why? Because I look around and everybody's wearing a mask. Everybody's trying to please so many people. It's not about pleasing. It's about pleasing yourself. It's about doing for yourself. It's about creating the person that you know that you are. Because, see, I don't know who you are, but you know within inside of you who you are. And anything that is the fruit of the Spirit, just put it this way, the fruit of the Spirit is giving. You're going to see the characteristics of fruit. Bearing. It's not about the world's bearing. It's not about the worldly titles. It's not about what the world can give you. Energy forms and creates a massive abundance. And I do know I'm abundantly grateful. I'm abundantly grateful because, see, I don't see with these eyes. I see with the eye inside of me. And I've seen abundance beyond measures. Why? Because it starts up here. When you start conquering this and you start becoming aware of who, because you got to feel your way. Once you make up your mind, you have to feel your way and emotions follow. Now, if you don't want to build, that's on you. But just know, we were meant to build. We're creators. Know that. Know it. And just, you have to understand that one thought, one idea, that's it. People may say, having property is the biggest investment. Yeah, well, you know what? I agree, but I disagree. Your biggest investment, get some paper and a pen and write this down. The biggest investment in life in generally, globalization, whatever you want to call it, nations everywhere, allwhere, I don't care, the whole earth. The biggest idea is just one idea that you make. One idea. This clothes was idea. The buildings around me were ideas. And this is why I'm telling you, we are our creators of our tomorrow. But until you start realizing that building you want to create, that space that you've been seeing in your mind, it's not going to be able to be bearing until you start realizing you have to get in order with that. You have to become order with the universe so you can have all the things that you've want to manifest. Because if you have this right, everything else has to follow. This is why I come and I speak, and I'm not going to stop. I will never stop. You may not see me for 2 or 3 days, but I will not stop. And it's going to get even better because I'm getting everything where, well, it is already there. Thank God. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm so happy, so grateful, because I am going to come out with my show. I have a show, and it's probably going to be at 6 o'clock. 6 or 8, one of the two. I'm trying to see which one time I want. And I'm just going to talk about this stuff. I want to talk about all the laws of the universe. I want to incorporate the current events. I want you guys to understand you better. And the only way that you can understand you better, if you start using these laws in now, in your life now. And you may say, well, hey, I never thought about it like that. But you know what? Everything that brings order, that's exactly what you get, order. And then guess what? When you start finding order, everything else aligns. And you start living the life of your dreams. You start becoming that person, but it's not going to become if you're not focused on what you want. You have to be focused on the things you want, or you're not going to have them. Know who you are and never complain again. Move in such so you can have what you've been looking for. I love you guys. I honestly do. And I'm so glad I'm live, because guess what, guys? I do not. I'm going to tell you one thing. Recordings are okay, but I really, really love doing them live. I don't know why. I just feel alive when I do it. I want you guys to know I have YouTube down here running, because I want you YouTubers. I'm on Twitter and I'm on YouTube at the same time. I want, if you're not if you're not subscribed to my channel on YouTube, please go, because things are going to be turned up. Things are going to be changing rapidly. Guys, I want you guys to follow me. I want you guys to learn more. And then to you guys get these basics, because they're all basics. You may say, well, you know, the law of the universe, it sounds so, ooh, wow. But it's simple. It really is. And we really, it's a natural flow within us, but we don't know the flow because we've been conditioned to believe otherwise. You know, and I'm not going to have you guys here turning around and stomping and, you know, put your leg in, put your leg out, and this is how you're going to receive this stuff. No, it's about you applying these laws. That's all it is. It's about you consciously opening your mind and allowing the light of God to enter into your heart. The light of God, the light of the universe itself. And let them flow through you, because all it is spirit wants to express itself through you and me. That's all it is. It's expression. And guess what? The Spirit of God, just to let you guys know, the Spirit of God, He loves the richer things of life. He loves the beautiful things of life. Trust me, I know. So if you guys want to keep plugged in, go follow my YouTube channel, Debbie Roque. And, you know, I want you guys to understand that I have Twitter, BB Ines Roque. I have Facebook, Debbie Roque. I have Instagrams. I want you guys to know that I'm going to give you all that I have, and I'm going to keep evolving in front of you guys. I'm going to keep giving you everything I have until I become empty, because that's what I was meant to do. God created me to give it all away. And plus, it feels so good. Whew. It's like you become lighter. So I want you guys to understand this. I want you guys to understand that you are the creator of your life. Know that you are the creator, and start creating the things you want instead of the things you don't want. Stay focused. I love you guys. And like I said, my family on Twitter, my new family on YouTube, because I'm doing both at the same time. I want you guys to know that I welcome you, YouTubers. I've never done this before, and I know that I have to grow my audience, but it's not about growth. It's about learning. It's about exploring, and it's about, you know, picking up and understanding who you are first. So if you want information about me, go look on me on Twitter, BB Ines Roque, YouTubers. I want you guys to know that I'm on Facebook as well, Debbie Roque. I want everybody to know that the universal laws are here and here to stay, and they've been here. And they want to make a way into your heart. They want to create, not even create, I guess, create the opening within your heart on who you were designed to be. Let's put it that way. Because you were designed to be something unique, just as your fingerprints. And I want you to know that you're much loved. So you are important. And I do love you. And I do think about all of you guys in general. Trust me, I'll be lying if I'm not. I love you guys. You are a leader from a 360 degrees angle. You are in me, and I am in you. I love you guys. See you guys. All right, let's turn this off. All righty then. Bye.